Knives Out was a very, very fun film. I really enjoyed it. I love like all the characters were just so complex and so great, and I feel like the cast of this movie was just phenomenal. Like everyone's like a somebody, right?
Yeah.
Making this film, it must have been like a moment you'll never forget. Can you describe the most memorable time on set? Like what's a moment like you'll never forget from this?
You know, when you read the script, the character of Benoit Blanc can take a lot of shapes. It's a very well-written role, but it's certainly a role that an actor is going to come in there and make some choices, some definitive choices. And it's probably going to be a big swing, and it's going to be the thing that either makes this work or makes us crash and burn. So I was really eager to see what Daniel's going to do. You know, and my first few scenes were just with Anna. And so the first day we had the whole cast together, I remember just being so excited to see what Daniel's going to do.
Yeah.
In his first take. I was like, huh, all right, he's going for it. But you know, thank God, at least he's not playing it safe. And, you know, it obviously works.
That was good. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah, memorable moments. Like you'll never forget this moment.
I just have it like, I mean, we were there in that house for 2 months straight, right? Yeah. And we just had a lot of fun. It was like great stories all the way through. But it was just the moment in between takes that we would go down to the basement and just, we were sitting like in a circle with our chairs and just spend hours and hours there playing and telling stories and just like, we got to know each other very well, like personally, and it was great to listen to everyone and have fun.
I really have one specific question for one person. Everything else has been general, but the question's for you. Your character has a tell. She vomits. I hope that's not a spoiler, but she vomits. When you're reading the script and you're like, what? Wait, what? I have to do what? How many times? What? Like, what's that going through your mind when you see that?
I loved it. I loved it. I was like, I was actually, I think like many times talking to Rian saying, well, Rian, I'm not necessarily not saying a lie, but I'm actually not saying the truth either. Should I vomit now again? Like, do you want me to? I got very good at making noises and, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know. Great. So
it was awesome.
Since this is a whodunit, I want to play a quick game. I'm going to give you 3 clues that happen, and we figure out, it's a hip hop whodunit. You figure out who did it. I'll give you 3 options as well.
Okay.
All right? So this person made a song about a girl named Brenda. One of his friends was played by Lakeith Stanfield in a movie, and his friends literally smoked him. Is it Snoop Dogg, is it Eazy-E, or is it TuPac?
Say it again? What was it?
His friends smoked him. Like, they rolled him up and smoked him. Right. And he made a song about Brenda, and one of his friends was played by Lakeith Stanfield in a movie. Is it Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E, or TuPac?
TuPac.
Why?
I just saw my assistant saying it. I'm like, wait, what? She knows everything. So I'm like...
There's a documentary about that, about the prices, right? No, I'm playing.
Well, because didn't Lakeith play?
Yeah.
He played Snoop.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it can't be Snoop.
Yeah,
It can't be Snoop.
I'll say
it's TuPac. It's TuPac.
Like,
you guys are good at whodunits, even if you had help.
I did it. Should I throw up now?
This movie seemed really fun to make. Like, everyone in it, all the characters in the movie are phenomenal, right? Everyone who actually plays the characters are characters in their own way. So you must have some really memorable moments you will never forget. Can you share a moment, like a memorable moment that you'll never forget that happened while filming this movie?
The whole thing, I mean, we can't single out one moment. That's why, I don't know. The thing, you go ahead. It's tough.
It is. I think it is tough because, I mean, for a lot of us, it was a really fun experience, and that is such a gift when you're, telling a story. But I think for me, it was whenever we had scenes where the whole family gets together, it's crazy, it's anarchy, but it's where you get to see the true dysfunction of this dysfunctional family. And I really enjoyed those scenes and those moments. I'm trying to think how not to give a scene away, but those for me were the best with the whole ensemble.
Yeah, that must have been really great. I loved, like, the characters and the analogy that he was using with the donut hole, not to give anything away. So, like, if you could describe this film using an analogy, what would you do? Like, what analogy would you make to describe this film? I got you guys thinking, I'm sorry.
No,
I just want to say that the reason we're thinking so long is because we haven't gotten these questions before, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we do get the same questions a lot, so
It's a good question.
good job.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna go right ahead because I don't know if this is right, but I think for me the experience of making the film was kind of like a magic bean because the script came at a really unexpected time for me, and I was like ready to head home, and then to make it was really fun and interesting. But now to have like the response that it's getting, it kind of has been like, oh wow, like this is something that really resonated with people. And in my memory, it's like it's just all of us in a house in Boston for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so magic bean.
Magic bean.
Yeah.
I feel like you rehearsed that. That was a good answer. That was a good answer.
I had this question before. No, I'm kidding.
Do I have to follow up?
So I want to play a little game, okay? It's like a trivia game. So I'm calling it a hip-hop whodunit, since this is a whodunit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 3 clues about what this person did or what happened to this person, and I'll give you 3 choices of who the person might be.
This
So-
hip hop related?
Hip-hop related,
All right.
yeah.
Jaden's
Okay.
got this.
So, first thing, he made a song about a girl named Brenda. One of his friends was played by Lakeith Stanfield in a movie, Straight Outta Compton. And 3, his friends actually smoked his body. Is it Snoop Dogg, is it Eazy-E, or is it TuPac?
That's easy.
Eazy-E? What do you think?
I'm just gonna go with Jaden. Easy.
It's actually TuPac.
They
Yeah.
smoked his body?
They smoked his ashes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so crazy.
Okay,
Isn't it?
Brenda, yeah, my
Yeah.
bad.
All right, so you guys are really well-known actors, and people might identify you as your characters. Is that weird to you when someone comes up to you and identifies you or addresses you as a character you played?
Yes, it is weird. Sometimes, yeah. I'll get, like, Billy or Where's Georgie and from it, and that can be a little,
Annoying, right?
a little bit, but I don't want to call them out, but a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy because it's like a horror, like it's a kind of horrific story that you tell or a scary
know.
movie.
And they're like, where's your dead brother?
Where's your dead brother?
But it is cool that they
Yeah.
appreciate that movie enough that it sticks in their mind.
I have to say, I mean, I think for me it happened more towards the beginning because like I did a role as my first role, which ended up being a really big TV show. But like, I think for me it's a little bit different because I feel like I've had the opportunity to tell some of the characters I've played really resonate with people on a different level. So like Love, Simon, or like 13 Reasons Why. So for me, when they identify with the characters I played in those senses, it's really special. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to chat.
I'm mad I got that question wrong. I feel like I need another one.
No.
I have to go. I do have another one. I have to go. But thank you guys for taking the time to chat with me. I
thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank
Peace
you.
out.
Yeah.
Speaking of characters, the characters in this film are all great. Like, I really loved all the characters. I loved your character. I love the accent. I love how your character sort of sat back and sort of observed. It was just all great. But everyone in this film is pretty much known for playing iconic characters. Characters where you, as people, become these characters, right? How does that feel? Is that more the character that was written on page, or is it more the performance?
Well, in this case, it was there on the page.
Yeah.
I mean, it just was there. I mean, it was literally like connecting the dots. You went, I read this and just went, yeah, I could do that. I know what to do. And the accent was there. This accent was suggested. I said to Ryan, shall I? And he went, yes, you shall. And I did, and they all went,
You just did it, by the way. You said yes.
yes, you shall. So I mean, it's sort of simple. It's like if the writing's that good, it's like reading a book.
Yeah.
If you read a really good book, you don't have to try too hard.
Yeah.
It's just in your head. You see the characters. You see the people. You can feel the dialogue. You feel the tension. Reading a good script's exactly the same way. So you kind of half the work's done for you.
And Ryan loves those Agatha Christie movies with the big star casts. Whereas he says every time somebody comes on the screen, like you just said, they have an iconography to them.
Connected to them, right?
That
yeah.
right away you're delighted. You don't have to wonder who they are.
Right.
And that is the benefit. Usually in a movie, a character comes on the screen, you don't know who they are. But the iconography of each person, every time the door opens, you go, oh, Michael Shannon,
Yeah.
bow down, bow down, bow down. And so I think that
Right.
is obviously the casting.
It makes it an event.
Yeah.
And
it was
there's nothing wrong with
definitely an event.
an event. Cinema is kind of great, you know?
I love that it was a whodunit and they sort of marketed it as that. So I want to play a quick game with you guys. And we're going to play a hip-hop whodunit. I'm going to give you the answer. You just guess. It's a multiple choice. So
Okay.
But I'm going to give you 3 clues.
Yes.
And you guess who this was based off the clues I gave you, okay?
Bring it.
Oh, okay.
First one, he made a song about a girl named Brenda. Second clue, one of his friends was played by Lakeith Stanfield in a movie. And the third clue, he was literally smoked by his friends.
Okay, and and what are the
And the 3
multiple
choices are
See,
Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E, or TuPac.
TuPac.
What do you guess? Snoop Dogg, Eazy, or TuPac?
I was gonna say Easy, but I'm gonna go with Junior here.
Yeah, correct. TuPac, yeah. Brenda had a baby.
Are we done now?
And I got
No,
one
no,
more. This
not
one's-
done like with you. I'm just meant like, cause like pop quizzes, like I literally start sweating.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'm sorry,
Just,
I'm
you
sorry.
know.
Joe's going to be dump sweating here. like, oh my God.
You are going to be my cultural like touchstone here.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm wrapped up right now, but I want to thank
No,
you guys.
no. What's the second question?
The second question.
Just let us do the second question. We want to win.
Okay.
What do we win?
He blew off Michael Jackson to party with Rick James. He became famous for one of the ways he became famous was painting his face green, and he took a picture of his junk once on stage.
And who are the 3 choices?
The 3 choices would be Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, or Martin Lawrence.
Is it Eddie?
No, I don't think it's Eddie. I want to know.
His face green once. That's from, what is that?
SNL.
It's
Eddie
SNL.
Murphy.
It's Eddie. It is
He
Eddie.
played Gumby.
He took a.
He took a Polaroid of his junk and gave it back to someone. In,
Oh,
one of
that's
his
By the way, it's
terrible.
interesting that we refer to it as junk, even though it's the seat of life.
It is, exactly.
You know, I don't. Why is it junk?
I didn't
Why
wanna
is that
cuss.
junk?
I didn't want to cuss. Thank you
But
for
why is it junk?
It's not junk.
But we call it junk.
We do call it junk. Put
Why
your
don't-
junk
but it's
away.
not junk.
It's not. It is beautiful.
We're discussing important
Give me
political
thank you.
questions.
All the characters in this film are just super phenomenal. The actors who plays the characters, everyone in here is like a thing. You know what I mean? So it had to be really fun. You had to have some moments that you'll never ever forget. Can you share a moment a memorable moment that you'll never forget that happened while making this movie?
Well, you know, Xilla, there were so many things that I've told the story. It was like going back and being a young actor in summer stock, because we would all stay in the house where we were filming. We got these massive trailers 200 yards away. Nobody would go back to their trailers. We would all stay in the house, and we'd go to this little room down in the basement, and we'd sit there and we'd tell stories about our careers and love affairs, and I found out a few things about myself I didn't know, and and so it was that kind of atmosphere which made us. I mean, we are a family of actors, and we're playing a family in the film, and that just made us more effective.
I love I don't want to give it away, but Daniel Craig uses an analogy to describe what's going on in the movie. It's a ding and
Yeah.
It's so great. I don't want to give it away because I think people should get it on their own.
It's hilarious.
But it's a hilarious analogy, isn't it?
It's hilarious, and you're going along with him, and you're going along with him, and you're going along with him, and you get to the end of it, and you're going, well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Can you give me an analogy to describe this movie?
Well, it's unique in that it's a whodunit with all this dark comedy wrapped around a Hitchcockian kind of thriller mystery in the middle, and then finishes up as a classic whodunit.
Yeah.
And you are the surprising thing to me playing it and watching it was how funny it is.
Yeah, I think you just described the blow pop because it starts off as a lollipop, but then it turns into gum.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And big bubble chewing gum.
Yeah,
Boy. I
exactly.
mean, like, you know, major league.
All right. So I want to give you a test. I want to play a hip hop whodunit. I'm going to give you 3 clues, and I'll give you 3 answers, and you guess who the person that did these things are.
Okay, this ought to be good.
This would be
Me
fun.
and my 17-year-old son here.
Okay, so he has a song about a girl named Brenda. One of his friends was played by Lakeith Stanfield in a movie, Straight Outta Compton, and he was literally smoked by his friends. Is it Eazy-E, is it Snoop Dogg, or is it TuPac?
TuPac.
Tupac Shakur, that is absolutely right. His friends smoked his ashes.
Yeah.
That was great.
And God bless. God rest his soul.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You got it. You figured it out. I was a little nervous.
Oh, no. You thought I was a little nervous?
I thought I was nervous for you.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Don't be nervous for me. I've been wrong a million times. I'm used to it.
You were right with this film. It is a great film. I can't wait for people to see it because it's going to be
Zilla,
great.
bless your heart. And you know the fun thing about it is everybody can see it. You can take your mama to see it. You can take your grandma to see it, and she's going to love it.
Yeah. That must have been an experience uploading all those photos.
It was, man. It was fun though. For me, it just helped keep track of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's it can be such a blur, and you gotta hold on to it and enjoy it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like this film, with the amazing cast that you had and the amazing characters that they all got to play and amazing characters that they actually are, because they all pretty much are characters,
Yeah.
that there was a lot of moments that you may never forget. Can you share one of those moments that happened on set or while creating this film?
Well, I mean, you said it really well, man. With a rich cast like this, you have 100 of them every single day. I mean, the way that everybody, and this is one of the things I'm happy with the film. You can feel kind of how much fun everyone's having on the screen, and it very much reflects the experience on set. Everyone just got along and had a really good time. I remember in between takes, everyone going down into the basement of this mansion we were in, and they would all just hang out. There was like summer camp for movie stars or something. And so I remember going down there. I had to work upstairs, but I would go down whenever I could and just see them all gathered around, like telling war stories about different jobs they've been on. I don't know. I'll always treasure that, you know.
Yeah, I did something similar with a bunch of hip-hop journalists who have been career journalists, and we just were all on an island sharing war stories. So I know what that moment's like.
It's the best because you all work on your different set, but then you see these people together, and instantly the barriers just drop. It's a fun thing, you know. It's cool.
How was it for you, sort of controlling the atmosphere? Because in a funny movie like this, and a movie that has so many different bits to it, and I heard you were the one who broke a lot. You were last. How was it sort of letting people go off when there was like a moment, right? Versus keeping the control and getting the work done?
Well, this cast are such pros, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like herding cats or something. It wasn't like I was like, okay, everyone can keep it together. Everybody was so on their game, and even when they were having fun and cutting loose, I mean, just you add up the total experience in this cast and how good everyone is at their jobs, you can see it makes sense. They all were just dialed in and ready to bring it. And there were moments where I could, the whole family's supposed to be fighting. I just let the cameras roll and let them all go at each other, and we got some awesome stuff out of that. But they're always focused on their character. They're always keeping it real in terms of what their character would be doing. And no, man, they're dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your resume's dope. You have a dope resume. But are there
man.
feelings that you need to prove yourself again, or need to redeem yourself, or need to sort of, you know what, I'm a go all out?
Yeah, I don't know. You always, I don't know. I don't think you can start thinking that I don't know. I don't think you can start thinking of yourself in terms of like my resume or my body of work or whatever. You got to kind of be like tunnel vision and just say, what's the most interesting thing next? What's on my heart right now? What do I want to be doing? What do I want to be saying? And you just got to do that, I think. That's it. If you got to stay true to that, that's the way you build an interesting resume, because you're always going to be doing what you're most excited about, I think. Yeah.
When people see Knives Out, what do you expect them to take away from it?
I want them to have a blast, man. This movie was manufactured to be in a theater full of people, and I want it to be a riot, And I want everyone to just be laughing and having a good time. And then, we layered some other stuff in there that I hope lands. But end of the day, I want you to go with your family and have a good time, man. That's really what this thing's all about.
Yeah, you have to go see it twice, because once you go
Yes,
see it the
please.
second time, you got to be, okay, let me see if I notice
All right,
it.
let's see if it all clicks, yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the
Thanks
time
a
to
lot,
chat,
man.
man.
It's a real
Appreciate you,
pleasure.
man.
Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Take